What about it, YouTube? All right, so what's been going on? Well, with me and YouTube, I got a strike a couple weeks back uh, because I was exposing who? Shuby. And they said I was violating the hate speech. I'm, see, this is part of the problem is you get caught up in this fake discussion. Like, without people who eat bagels, there wouldn't be this stuff called hate crime or hate speech. But the bagel eaters create this thing, hate crime, hate speech. Then they need proof that it exists in an anti-Semitic way. Da da da! Here comes Shuby to the rescue, right on time. Shuby comes out with his gonzo displays of just just optical aids and nastiness and ugliness towards Jays, and then now they have what would be described as a hate crime, hate speech. And then when I expose Shuby for doing this, then YouTube gives me a strike for violating hate speech. This is the bizarre world we live in. None of this would exist without the Jays. Here's me exposing that Shuby is empowering them and validating them and giving them all of everything they need to weaponize against us, all the optics that they need to prove and validate their narrative. Here comes Shuby. And by the way, the same thing is going on with that 21 Studios guy in his manosphere. I mean, if you were looking for the poster boy of toxic masculinity, if there was such a thing, right? Something that wouldn't exist again if it weren't Jays running up and down our culture with their great reset crap and their wokeness, right? This stuff wouldn't even be talked about. There wouldn't be such terms in the world. There'd be none of it. But uh, the mere opposite of feminism is going to be headed up by Tiny Tony on 21 Studios, being the poster boy of misogyny, the poster boy of toxic masculinity, the poster boy of patriarchy. He is the poster boy so that now you can point to something and say, see it exists. See these guys? See, and then his whole honey-potted group and his 21 conventions and all this thing. Do you idiots realize what you're doing? Do you have any idea what you're doing? I would guess that most of you are unwitting, that you're not all part of the operation. But it is an operation, to be sure, because it fits every check mark on the misogyny list, like how to look like a piece of crap optically in this woke world of feminism. How to do it, right? Check, check, check. Just like Shuby. How to look like crap in this world narrative, in this BS narrative of white nationalist supremacists, Nazis. What's the checklist? Check, check, check. Yeah, standing at the bridge with doing the Hail Hitler with the Jews rape babies or whatever the last stupid thing was. It's always check, 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 check. Okay, to the rescue. Here comes these guys. Okay, so the message here is never get sucked up into any of this crap. All of it, and if it feels divisive, it probably is an operation, and so that does nothing to cure anything. Every comment you see from Shuby, every comment you see from 21 Studios, everything they do does nothing to bridge the gap between Christians and, say, a normal normie person of the Jewish faith, okay? And so let me get into that too, because of this thing of whiteness, right? Because I'm seeing, and I'm seeing here and there this talk about whiteness. So whiteness juxtaposed to what? Is if there's a whiteness, okay, whatever that means, then there must be what? A blackness? Is there a blackness that goes on in Chicago? Chicago? Is there a Jewness? Is there such a thing as a Jewness that would explain the Jewish way? Right? If you're going to claim that there's this whiteness and that's what's so toxic, well, wait a minute. Isn't there a Jewness? Isn't there a blackness? How about the Asians? Do they get something like a yellowness or something? Let's be fair. Let's be fair. Okay? Bouncing around here a little bit, but there's a lot. I guess I've been, the strike kind of messed up my role. And I'll leave this one to be a little bit short, but just all of this division, it's amazing that nothing's popped off yet. And that's what needs to happen. Everybody needs to realize that all of this gaslighting, this narcissistic gaslighting that's going on, this global narcissistic gaslighting, it's pushing and pushing and pushing for something to pop off. And if the worst thing to do is to become the thing that they say that you are, so that they can say, see, that's what I was saying about, the shoobies and that. If nobody pops off, if it makes it harder and harder to say that there's this danger of whiteness, this danger of whatever that is, right? If whiteness is supposed to mean like Nazi or white supreme or something like that, it makes it hard, right? Let them be the aggressors. Let them be the violent. Let them be the destroyers. Always. Okay? I mean, Kyle Rittenhouse is going on right now too. If you're Kyle Rittenhouse, you have to do what you have to do and let the chips fall where they may. But maybe a lesson there. The kid had the greatest intentions. If you feel like you need to protect your own and your neighborhood and that, by all means do it. By all means, that's what we need. We need Kyle Rittenhouse houses that will protect the neighborhood and that will stand there and protect other people. Okay? But the other message is stay out of situations that aren't local, that don't involve you. Stay out of that. It's trouble that you don't need to be involved in. The further you get away, the less reason you have to be there. Does that make sense? Always have a reason to be where you're at. Kyle's an example of somebody doing everything right, who's being possibly railroaded by this narcissistic corruption that's upon us. But beyond that, okay, we can learn lessons and stay. Don't let Trump lead you into a January 6th. Don't get involved with groups. Don't do be a peacemaker. Do spread that message of love in your daily life. Do try to be, I hate to use the "we are strange" caption of be the change you want to see in the world, but I mean, be that person in a polite society that you would want to meet. Be that person on a daily basis. Live your life in the real world locally and concentrate on what you can do there and ignore as much as you can of the rest. All of it is gaslighting. All of it is meant to just fire you up and mess with your emotions and your mental health and the rest of it. So the more you can leave it behind, the better. I mean, I haven't had a television or a satellite connection or whatever, direct TV, that stuff. I haven't had that since 2008. I know that I need, for my mental health, I would benefit if I got rid of my phone and got a flip phone. But then I'd have to get rid of my computer too, and then I wouldn't have any connection at all to the world other than local. Maybe that's what I should be preaching and what I should do. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of coming to that point sometime. When YouTube has finally gotten rid of me because I'm out spreading love and guiding people away from traps like Shuby, okay, there's going to be a point where maybe there's nowhere else for me to go. If it becomes Austria and you've got to show your papers to even go outside your house, who knows what the future holds? Deagle says that more than 2/3 of us are going to be dead in the next 4 years. So who knows what the future will hold? But for right now, the more you limit yourself from the world, walk away from the world. It's pure AIDS. Everything about it is AIDS. Everything about it is trying to get into your head, into your kid's head, and to turn you into some kind of uh, a shameless apologist for hedonism and degeneracy. So, anyway, this video has probably gone on too long. God bless, and I'll see you on the next one.